Alright, so what's up everyone now? Welcome back to the channel. Now, the hype train for Modern Warfare 2 has officially begun, and a lot earlier than anticipated, I'm not gonna lie. So, today we're gonna be talking about some official news from Activision and Infinity Ward themselves about the future Call of Duty game, and also a little bit about how Vanguard is doing as well. Activision's earnings call for 2021, the fourth quarter, has officially been released, and they've talked about a load of stuff, including how Vanguard has sold, and, you know, compared to obviously previous games, and also the future of Call of Duty as well, what the future will hold for this franchise, which I'm not gonna lie is really exciting. So let's just get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is from the earnings call. If you have a look on screen, you'll see what they have said from the earnings call. They said development of this year's premium and Warzone experiences is being led by Activision's renowned Infinity Ward studio. The team is working on the most ambitious plan in franchise history, with industry-leading innovation and a broadly appealing franchise setting. Now, I think it's apparent to everyone that this is going to be Modern Warfare 2. The time setting is a bit of a different story. It obviously would be in the modern day, but I'm thinking it's possible it could be slightly near future, not necessarily in the likes of Black Ops 2 where it's like a more futuristic setting, but it might not be set exactly in present day. Like Modern Warfare's campaign was, I think, set literally on the release date, like 2019, like November or something. So I don't know if it's going to be like maybe 2023, 2024, or if it is just going to be modern day. I'm not too sure, but the broadly appealing franchise setting is definitely modern to near future, which I'm just really happy to hear officially. Obviously, they've confirmed that Infinity Ward is the studio. Obviously, we know this because of the yearly cycle and how it's sort of been changed ever since Black Ops Cold War, but it's interesting how they talk about they are developing this year's premium and Warzone experiences, which I have to say is really interesting. Obviously, with the whole Warzone 2 stuff we talked about on the channel previously, I'm not sure if this is them directly saying that they are making a Warzone 2, or maybe they're going to reassume control of Warzone like they did in the Modern Warfare life cycle. I'm quite interested to see what's going to happen with that. Maybe they'll develop Warzone 2 and then pass it on to Raven. Sort of like how with Warzone 1, how they did that, where they developed Warzone, they supported it throughout the year, then they gave it to Raven. But then they talk about the team is working on the most ambitious plan in franchise history. I'm really curious as to what this could mean. I'm not sure what ambitious plan they could set into motion other than like the actual core gameplay of the premium experience itself. I'm wondering if this is something to do with Warzone, obviously because they talk about how they're working on the Warzone experience. I'm wondering if this is something to do with the whole Warzone 2 thing. Maybe they're just going to do something completely wild with that game, or I'm not too sure. But I think it's very interesting that they say they'll work on the most ambitious plan in franchise history, because that is a bold statement. And the second part of this little section here about Infinity Ward, they've actually resurfaced on their Twitter with this tweet here. A new generation of Call of Duty is coming soon, stay frosty. So obviously this is just sort of them reiterating what Activision said about them working on Call of Duty 2022. The whole stay frosty thing, I think, is obviously just sort of playing into the Modern Warfare 2 thing. They're sort of like saying, yeah, we're making Modern Warfare 2 without directly saying it, if that makes sense. Now, as I have talked about previously on the channel, I'm really excited for Modern Warfare 2. I think it is going to be a really good game. I'm hoping what it's going to be is pretty much Modern Warfare 2019 with a sort of revamped style, and obviously the sort of general multiplayer design of the game is just better. It's just like normal Call of Duty, because I do believe that Modern Warfare 2019 at its core is a fantastic game, but the way they went about things, like Dead Silence being a field upgrade, and the minimap not working properly, and, you know, just the general slower sort of feel of the game compared to, say, Vanguard, it just really dragged the game down, and it just sort of ruined the experience for me and for a lot of people. I'm hoping they've learned from their mistakes this year, and I believe they would have, because I do think that although that was the direction they were going for with that game, I think they sort of realized that's not what people want, despite it selling incredibly well. So I'm just hoping they learn from their mistakes, and they're going to go ahead and make a quicker pace game. Probably not as quick as Vanguard, because that game is really quick, but just better than Modern Warfare 2019, and it will just be fantastic. Now, the next part of this video, I'll talk a little bit about Vanguard and what Activision has said directly from their earnings call to do with the sort of retention of Vanguard and Warzone directly. So, if we have a look at this quote here, Call of Duty net bookings on console and PC declined year over year in the fourth quarter, reflecting lower premium sales with Call of Duty Vanguard versus the year ago title and lower engagement in Call of Duty Warzone. Fourth quarter in-game player investment on console and PC remained well above the levels seen prior to the March 2020 launch of Warzone. So, I believe what they're saying here is that despite Vanguard and Warzone's lower retention at the moment, it's still higher in terms of general Call of Duty than before Warzone. So obviously still Call of Duty is still doing really well, but it's not doing as well as it could. And I believe that is why they're announcing Infinity Ward being the next developer in the Call of Duty franchise. I think they want people to come back to the game, get ready for Modern Warfare 2, and sort of get the hype train going earlier than we are used to. With the previous two Call of Duty games, they were actually revealed and sort of hyped up a lot later than we're used to be honest. And I thought we'd be getting used to that. I thought that was going to be the norm now. We'd be getting our games revealed around about like August, September time, and then we'd have like only a couple months to get hyped for the game, then it would release. But I think Modern Warfare was the last game where it was revealed super early in the year, like say April to June time was when we'd usually get our reveals, and then throughout the entire year there'd be marketing and press conferences and all that kind of stuff hyping up the game. But obviously with Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard, they did that a lot later, and whether that's to do with COVID or just in terms of how messed up those games were, I suppose. I'm not sure which one it is, but it looks like we might be going back to the earlier in the year reveals now. Like I said earlier, this is definitely because of Vanguard's poor release. Although it is the #1 most sold game in 2021, it still did incredibly well. And #2 was Black Ops Cold War. In Activision's eyes, that is still a failure because it sold less than Black Ops Cold War, even though any other developer would be more than happy to have their game as #1 for the whole year. Activision still aren't happy with that, which I find that quite funny. I mean, I know Call of Duty is just supposed to be like the biggest thing in terms of gaming. Yeah, that's sort of how they're used to it by now, so I can understand why they'd be disappointed with Vanguard's performance, even though it was #1. But I can see where they're coming from, and I think this is why they are revealing Modern Warfare 2 so early, just to sort of get people back into Call of Duty, because people are losing interest. They want people back. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. I think I've talked about everything that I want to in terms of news. I personally am really excited for Modern Warfare 2. I made a video a few days ago already talking about that, so you guys know that already. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think? Are you excited for Modern Warfare 2? Do you not care as much? Are you excited for Warzone 2? Because that is entirely a possibility. Just let me know down below. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. So thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you are new around here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.